The Smithsonian exhibit, The Journey Stories, has made a stop at Murray State's Rather Museum. The Journey Stories is a look into our country's past and to people who took a chance to change their course of history. Everyone has a story, and now that story is on Murray State's campus. Everyone has a story that needs to be told. A story where they live, a story of their family history, a story of everything left behind for a new life. It's the Journey Stories.
Your family's story is different from other families' stories, and all the stories are important, and yet the story hasn't ended. Our stories continue on today. The Smithsonian pays to bring the exhibit, pays the shipping for the exhibit to get it to Kentucky, but it goes to 6 different museums. This is the last museum, and we have a partnership with the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet whereby they move the exhibit intrastate from site to site, and we could not afford to bring this exhibit here if we had to pay the shipping cost. Also, we actually pay the booking fee. It costs $12,000 to bring this exhibit to Kentucky, and so we pay the fee on behalf of the museums. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes that couldn't happen if the Humanities Council and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet didn't partnership together.
Kathleen traveled with the 14 rolling crates of the Smithsonian exhibit, overseeing the construction. She had volunteers pouring in from across campus, excited to help out with the layout of this exhibit. Retired Murray State professor Ken Wolf was one of those volunteers.
It's such a well-organized, well-crafted exhibit with a lot of good information in it that as a board member from Western Kentucky, I guess I'm the only board member from the Jackson Purchase, I'm just delighted that people here in this part of Kentucky can see this, and I know there are many groups that are going to be coming in, having meetings here, touring the exhibit, and it's a wonderful way to learn American history, and we're just excited about it.
This is a program where state humanities councils work with the Smithsonian Institution's Museum on Main Street program to bring exhibits to rural communities. The Journey Stories has been a work in progress for over a year.
So I've been working with Kate and Connie Alexander here. We've been planning activities and helping them through the process of what information to share with teachers to help their students come and see the exhibit, what sort of programs they should have. I helped them through a grant process. They got a grant from the Kentucky Humanities Council for $1,500, so help them apply for that grant. So it teaches them more than just setting up the exhibit. So these are skills that the museum will have to come back to us for further grant funds later.
One group that took advantage of the exhibit was the West Kentucky Regional Chamber Alliance. This leadership group works on pulling together resources from the 14 Western Kentucky counties for economic development and educational purposes. Trigg County Representative DONNIE HOLLAND said he felt privileged to be one of the first to tour the exhibit.
Some of the exhibit has a national implication, and I noticed that part of it has a lot of local, regional implications. I noticed the between the rivers, sort of a between the rivers aura to it, to the furnace, iron mills and so forth there that will fascinate anyone that comes here from several perspectives.
These regional stories are going to be explored by school children. Teachers have been working to incorporate this cultural experience into their curriculum. Murray State Regional Stewardship and Outreach has been helping this process along.
One of the other projects that we were able to fund as a result of the Smithsonian exhibit is a partnership with the Quilt Museum in Paducah. They found out about the exhibit coming to our region and wanted to do something around the same theme. So they took the Journeyed Stories theme, they were able to put some quilt exhibits together that mimicked that theme, and then we were able to give them some funding to help promote it and to showcase that there in Paducah. So we actually have a quilt Journeyed Stories exhibit going on in Paducah at the same time that we have the Smithsonian here in our regions.
The Journey Stories will be on display at Rather Museum on campus until March 10, and it's absolutely free.